The mining colony on asteroid KX-47 was humanity's smallest official settlement. With just 847 residents, it barely qualified for colony status under Earth Federation law. Most people back on Earth didn't even know it existed. The asteroid itself was unremarkable, a chunk of rock floating in the outer belt, valuable only for its rare mineral deposits. Commander Jack Wilson stood in the control tower, watching the miners return from their shifts. The colony consisted of 3 pressurized domes connected by tunnels. Nothing fancy, just functional structures that kept everyone alive in the vacuum of space. The first dome housed living quarters. The second contained the mining equipment and processing plants, and the third held their small defense station. "Another quiet day," said Lieutenant Maria Santos, the colony's security chief. She commanded a grand total of 12 security officers. Their biggest excitement usually involved breaking up arguments in the rec room or dealing with equipment theft. Jack nodded, sipping his synthetic coffee. "Just how I like it. Boring means safe out here." The colony's defense system was modest. They had 6 old plasma cannons, a basic shield generator that covered the main domes, and 24 combat drones that spent most of their time collecting space debris. The Earth Federation had offered to upgrade their defenses last year, but the colonists voted against it. The upgrades would have cost them 2 months of profits. "Sir, we're picking up something on long-range sensors," called out Tom Baker from his station. The young technician frowned at his screen. "It's big, really big." Jack walked over, his coffee forgotten. On the screen, a massive ship appeared, easily 10 times the size of their entire colony. It didn't match any known human vessel designs. The ship was angular and aggressive-looking, with weapons ports covering every surface. "That's not one of ours," Maria said quietly. The alien ship moved with purpose, heading straight for KX-47. As it approached, smaller ships launched from its hull, dozens of fighter craft spreading out in attack formation. "Send a distress signal." "To Earth," Jack ordered. "Tell them we have first contact situation. Hostile." Tom's fingers flew across his console. "Message sent, but Earth is 4 hours away at best speed. No one can reach us in time." The colony's alarms began wailing. In the mining tunnels, workers dropped their tools and ran for the emergency shelters. Parents grabbed their children. The small medical staff prepared for casualties. The alien ship stopped just outside their defensive perimeter. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a harsh, mechanical voice broadcast across all channels. "Pathetic humans. Your tiny colony will serve as an example to your species. Surrender now, and your deaths will be swift. Resist, and we will make you suffer. You have 1 minute to comply." Jack looked at his small command staff. They had no chance against such a force. The smart move would be to surrender, maybe buy time for negotiations. But something in the aliens' tone, that absolute certainty of victory, sparked something in him. "Maria, what's the status on those old mining charges in storage?" he asked. She raised an eyebrow. "We have about 300. They're past expiration, but should still work." "Why? Tom, can you modify our combat drones to carry those charges?" The technician's eyes widened as he understood. "Give me 3 minutes." "Sir, they're demanding an answer," someone called out. Jack grabbed the communication microphone. "This is Commander Wilson of Human Colony KX-47. We need more time to evacuate our civilians. 5 minutes." The alien voice laughed, a sound like grinding metal. "You have 2 minutes, human. No more delays." Jack turned to his team. "Listen up. We might be the smallest colony in human space, but we're not going down without a fight. Tom, get those drones ready. Maria, power up everything we've got. Tell the miners to grab their industrial lasers, anything that can cut through metal. Outside, The alien fighters began moving closer, confident in their superiority. They had conquered dozens of worlds, crushed civilizations that spanned entire solar systems. This tiny human outpost would be nothing more than target practice. They had no idea what they were about to face. The countdown continued. The colony prepared. And in exactly 2 minutes, the shortest and most shocking battle in human history would begin. The 2 minutes felt like hours and seconds at the same time. Inside the colony's defense station, everyone moved with desperate efficiency. Tom Baker's hands flew across multiple screens, reprogramming the combat drones while sweat dripped down his face. Each drone was being loaded with outdated mining charges explosives designed to crack asteroids, not fight wars. Drone modification at 60%, Tom announced. I need another minute. We don't have another minute, Jack replied, watching. The alien fighters inched closer on the tactical display. There were 47 enemy fighters, each one sleek and deadly looking. Their main ship hung back, weapons powered but not yet firing. In the mining dome, something remarkable was happening. The miners' tough men and women who spent their days breaking rocks in space had transformed into an improvised militia. They grabbed industrial cutting lasers, plasma torches, and magnetic grapples. These weren't weapons, but in the right hands, they could be. Boss, we've got 17 industrial lasers ready, reported Mike Brown, the mining foreman. His voice crackled over the radio. They won't pierce military armor, but if we focus multiple beams on the same spot, ... Do it, Jack ordered. Target their fighters first. Look for weak points engines, weapon ports, anything that looks vulnerable. The colony's doctor, Lisa White, had converted the medical bay into a trauma center. She had only 2 nurses to help her, but they prepared for the worst. Bandages, surgical tools, and emergency medications were laid out in precise rows. In the corner, she'd placed a small box of morphine injectors, enough to ensure no one would suffer if the worst happened. Shields at maximum, Maria reported from her station. But Commander, our shield generator is 15 years old. It was designed to stop micrometeorites, not military-grade weapons. Jack knew she was right. Their shield might last 30 seconds against a concentrated attack. Maybe less, but 30 seconds could make all the difference. Tom, status on those drones? 90%, almost there. The alien commander's voice boomed through their speakers again. Time's up, humans. You have chosen death. Jack grabbed the microphone one more time. Wait, we surrender. We're powering down our weapons. It was a lie, but he needed to buy Tom a few more seconds. There was a pause. Then that metallic laugh again. Too late for surrender, human. But we appreciate the fear in your voice. Attack Formation Alpha. Destroy them all. The alien fighters surged forward in perfect formation. They moved like predators, confident and coordinated. Their weapons began glowing as they charged up for the first strike. Now! Jack shouted. Everything happened at once. 20-4 modified. Combat drones launched from hidden ports around the colony. They were small, barely visible against the black of space. The aliens didn't even consider them a threat. What could tiny maintenance drones do against military fighters? The 6 plasma cannons opened fire simultaneously, their beams converging on the lead alien fighter. The shots weren't particularly powerful by military standards, but concentrated fire on a single target had an effect. The fighter's shields flared and flickered. From the mining dome, 17 industrial lasers activated. The miners had networked them together through the colony's computer system, allowing coordinated targeting. They picked a fighter on the left flank and poured everything into it. But the real surprise came from an unexpected source. In the colony's water treatment plant, engineer Bob Taylor had spent the 2 minutes rigging the pressure system. Water. was precious on an asteroid, kept at extremely high pressure for recycling. Bob reversed the flow and opened the emergency vents. Jets of water shot into space at incredible velocity, instantly freezing into clouds of ice crystals. The cloud spread between the colony and the attackers, creating a glittering barrier that confused the alien targeting systems. The alien fighters hesitated for just a moment, their perfect formation disrupted by the unexpected ice cloud. Their sensors struggled to lock onto targets through the interference. That moment was all the modified drones needed. Moving at maximum speed, the tiny drones weaved through the ice cloud and slammed into the alien fighters. The mining charges detonated on impact. These weren't sophisticated military explosives. They were crude, powerful, and designed to shatter asteroids. The first explosion lit up space like a small sun. Then another, and another. Drone impact confirmed. Tom shouted. Multiple hits. The tactical display showed chaos. Where there had been 47 alien fighters in perfect formation, now there were 32 scattered and confused. The explosions had created a chain reaction. Debris from destroyed fighters struck others, causing more damage. The preparation was over. The real battle had begun. The alien commander watched his tactical display in disbelief. 15 of his fighters had been destroyed in the first 20 seconds by maintenance drones carrying mining explosives. His voice roared across the communication channels, no longer confident but furious. Impossible. Destroy that pathetic colony. All weapons, maximum force. The remaining 32 fighters regrouped quickly, their training taking over. They spread out to avoid more drone attacks and opened fire. Energy. Beams and plasma bolts rained down on the small colony. The old shield generator screamed in protest. It held for exactly 18 seconds before failing in a shower of sparks. Several shots punched through, striking the outer hull of the living dome. Atmosphere began venting into space. Hull breach in Section C, someone shouted. Emergency protocols. Activated, Maria announced. Bulkhead sealed. We lost the recreation room, but no casualties. Jack watched the tactical display grimly. They'd hurt the enemy, but now the aliens were angry. And they still had 32 fighters, plus that massive mothership. Sir, I've got something, Tom said suddenly. When our drones hit, I scanned the wreckage. Their armor is tough, but it's designed for energy weapons. Kinetic impacts seem more effective. Kinetic impacts? Jack thought quickly. The mass driver. The colony had an old mass driver used for launching processed ore to cargo ships. It was basically a giant magnetic railgun that could accelerate containers to incredible speeds. It wasn't designed as a weapon, but physics didn't care about. Design intentions. Mike, can your team load the mass driver with something more solid than ore containers? The mining foreman's voice crackled back immediately. Already on it, Commander. We're loading it with depleted uranium drill bits, 20 kilograms each. These things will punch through anything. The alien fighters had formed a new attack pattern, circling the colony like wolves. They fired in coordinated bursts, trying to overwhelm any defense. More shots got through, striking the mining dome. Equipment exploded. 2 miners were caught in the blast. Medical team to mining dome, Lisa White announced, already grabbing her emergency kit. But the colonists weren't just taking hits. The 6 plasma cannons continued firing, now targeting the fighters' engines when they slowed to aim. The industrial lasers swept across space, forcing fighters to keep moving or risk concentrated fire. Then the mass driver came online. The first depleted uranium projectile launched at 10% the speed of light. It was invisible to the naked eye, just a streak of death through space. It caught an alien fighter center mass. The fighter didn't explode, simply ceased to exist, transformed into an expanding cloud of particles. "Direct hit," Mike shouted. The mass driver fired again. And again. Every 3 seconds, another projectile screamed through space. The alien fighters tried to dodge, but the projectiles were too fast, too unexpected. They'd come to destroy a mining colony, not fight against improvised kinetic weapons. 5 more fighters vanished. Then 3 more. The alien commander's voice returned, but now there was something else in its uncertainty. "You dare use such primitive weapons against the Dominion?" Jack grabbed the microphone. "You attacked civilians. Mining families, children. You want to see primitive? We haven't even gotten started." It wasn't a bluff. Engineer Bob Taylor had another surprise ready. The colony processed its ore using powerful electromagnetic separators. Bob had reversed their polarity and cranked them to maximum power. When 3 alien fighters passed over the mining dome, he activated them. The fighters' weapons, shields, and navigation systems all used electromagnetic fields. The reversed separators created a localized EMP effect. The 3 fighters lost power simultaneously and crashed into the asteroid's surface. The colonists' equipment, shielded by the dome and designed for the electromagnetically hostile environment of asteroid mining, remained functional. 21 fighters remained, but something had changed. They pulled back, regrouping near their rear mothership. They'd lost more than half their force to a colony that shouldn't have been able to destroy even 1 fighter dot in the command center. Jack allowed himself a moment of hope. They were still outnumbered and outgunned, but they'd proven something important. The aliens could be hurt. They could be beaten. "Tom, how many drones do we have left?" "None, sir. But I've got an idea. The escape pods. Jack's eyes widened as he understood. The colony had 10 emergency escape pods, each with its own propulsion system. They could be rigged the same way as the drones. "Do it, Maria. Redistribute power from non-essential systems. Everything to weapons and the mass driver." The battle was far from over, but momentum had shifted. The smallest colony in human space had given the alien Dominion something they'd never expected. Real fight. The alien mothership finally moved. It had watched its fighter squadron get decimated by a mining colony, and now it decided to end this embarrassment personally. The massive vessel's weapons ports began glowing with accumulated energy, enough firepower to crack a small moon. "Sir, energy spike from the mothership," Tom warned. "Whatever they're charging, it's big." Jack studied the tactical display. They had maybe 30 seconds before that ship unleashed hell on them. The colony had survived this long through surprises and determination, but against that much firepower, they needed a miracle dot. Then he noticed something. "Tom, zoom in on the mothership's trajectory." The image enlarged, showing the alien vessel's approach path. It would pass directly over the colony's main mining shaft, a hole drilled 3 kilometers deep into the asteroid. "Mike, are you thinking?" "What I'm thinking?" The mining foreman's laugh was grim. "Already there, Commander. We've got 200 tons of unprocessed explosive compounds at the bottom of Shaft 7. We use them for deep drilling. If we could detonate them when that ship passes over. But how do we get the ship to fly directly over the shaft?" "Maria," asked Jack smiled coldly. "We make ourselves the bait. All weapons. Concentrate fire on the mothership's bridge. Make them angry. Make them want to come in close to finish us personally." The 6 plasma cannons swiveled upward and fired. The beams were laughably weak against the mothership's shields, but they hit exactly where Jack wanted the command section. It was an insult, a slap in the face to the alien commander. The response was immediate and furious. The mothership accelerated, diving toward the colony. The alien commander's voice boomed across all channels. "Pathetic insects. I will crush you myself." You will watch your colony burn before you die. The 21 remaining fighters spread out, preparing to support their mothership's attack. But the colonists had one more card to play. Tom had finished modifying the escape pods. 10 more improvised missiles were ready. Launch when they're in range, Jack ordered. Target the fighters. Keep them busy. The mothership descended like an angry god, its massive bulk blotting out the stars. Energy weapons charged full power. In 15 seconds, it would be directly over the mining shaft. Mike, get your people out of there. Already done. Detonator is set. Just give the word. The escape pods launched, screaming toward the remaining fighters. These aliens had learned, though. They scattered, shooting down 3 pods before they could reach their targets. But 7 got through, destroying 5 more fighters. 16 fighters left. And the mothership was almost in position. Wait for it, Jack said, watching the tactical display. Wait, ... The alien commander must have sensed something was wrong. The mothership began to pull up, but momentum and its massive size worked against it. For just a moment, it passed directly over Shaft 7. Now, Mike hit the detonator, 3 kilometers below the surface. 200 tons of mining explosives detonated simultaneously. The blast traveled up the shaft like the barrel of an impossibly large gun. When it erupted from the surface, it caught the mothership's underside at point-blank range. The explosion was visible from Earth's most powerful telescopes. A column of fire and debris shot into space, carrying half the asteroid's mining equipment with it. The mothership's shields, designed to deflect energy weapons and absorb impacts from the front, couldn't handle a massive kinetic blast from below. The alien vessel's hull cracked. Atmosphere vented from multiple breaches. Secondary explosions rippled through its interior as critical systems failed. A mighty warship that had conquered dozens of worlds spun out of control, its engines failing. Direct hit, Tom shouted. Their main power is failing. But the mothership wasn't dead yet. Even crippled, it managed to fire one last salvo. Energy beams struck the colony's mining dome, collapsing half of it. The control tower took a direct hit, throwing Jack across the room. When he struggled to his feet, ears ringing, he saw Maria helping Tom up from his destroyed console. Half their equipment was offline, but on the one remaining screen, he could see the mothership tumbling away from the asteroid, its engines dark. The 16 remaining fighters hesitated. Their mothership was crippled, their commander silent. They'd lost 31 fighters to a colony that shouldn't have been able to destroy even one. "This is Commander Wilson," Jack broadcast, blood running down his face. "You have 10 seconds to retreat, or we'll finish what we started." It was mostly a bluff. They had almost nothing left. But the aliens didn't know that. The fighters turned and fled, racing to dock with their damaged mothership before it drifted too far away. Asterisk. The chronometer in what remained of the control tower showed the impossible truth. From the moment the alien fighters had begun their attack to their retreat, exactly 7 minutes had passed. 7 minutes that would echo through human history. Jack stood in the ruined command center, surveying the damage. Half the colony was in ruins. They'd lost 12 people, 9 miners, and 3 security officers who'd held their positions until the end. But they'd survived. The smallest colony in human space had faced an alien invasion fleet and won. "Commander, you need to see this," Tom called from his makeshift station. He'd managed to restore long-range sensors using backup equipment. "The mothership is transmitting." The alien commander's voice came through, weak and distorted. "This is ... impossible. We are the Dominion. We have conquered systems, destroyed civilizations that spanned centuries." "How?" Jack picked up the microphone. "You made a mistake. You thought we were weak because we were small. But every person in this colony chose to be here. We're miners, engineers, people who work in the most dangerous conditions in space every day. We don't scare easy. There was a long pause. Your Earth Federation will hear of this. The Dominion will return with 1,000 ships. Maybe, Jack replied, but they'll know what happened here. The smallest human colony defeated your best. And if we can do it with mining equipment and determination, imagine what Earth's real military will do. The connection cut. On the sensors, the crippled mothership and its remaining fighters limped away, using what little power remained to escape the system. They'd need months of repairs before they could threaten anyone again, not 4 hours later, when the Earth Federation relief fleet arrived. They found something they couldn't believe. Admiral Susan Harper stood on her flagship's bridge, staring at the tactical reports. "Let me understand this," she said to her staff. "A mining colony with no military vessels, no trained soldiers, and no modern weapons defeated a Dominion invasion. Fleet? In 7 minutes," her aide confirmed. "They have video recordings from the colony's security cameras. It's incredible." The Admiral opened a channel to the colony. "Commander Wilson, this is Admiral Harper. Earth Federation sends its compliments. What you've done here, ... there are no words." Jack's tired voice came back. "Just doing our job, Admiral. Though we could use some help with repairs and medical supplies. And maybe some real weapons for next time. Commander, after what you've accomplished, you can have anything you want. The entire Federation is in your debt." In the following weeks, the story spread across human space. News networks played the security footage over and over tiny drones. Destroying fighters, mining lasers being used as weapons, a massive explosion from a mining shaft crippling a warship. Military academies would study the battle for decades, calling it the perfect example of asymmetric warfare. The colony received messages from Earth, Mars, and every human settlement. Children drew pictures of the heroes of KX-47. The Federation Council voted unanimously to award every colonist the Star of Terra, humanity's highest civilian honor. But the most important message came 3 weeks later. It was a broadband transmission from deep space sent on all frequencies. The Dominion's High Command had a simple message for humanity. The Dominion formally recognizes human space as sovereign territory. Non-aggression pact proposed. Your smallest colony's victory has been ... instructive. Mike Brown, a mining foreman who turned industrial equipment into weapons, summed it up best during a press interview. "People ask how we won. Simple. They came looking for victims. They found miners instead. Anyone who's worked in space knows we don't give up. We solve problems. And if you threaten our families, we'll solve you too." The colony was rebuilt, bigger and better than before. The Federation installed state-of-the-art defense systems, though everyone knew they might never need them. Word had spread through. The galaxy humans were not to be underestimated. Ever. A monument was erected where the control tower had stood. It was a simple plaque that read, "Here stood 847 humans who faced impossible odds. The battle lasted 7 minutes. The legend will last forever. Never underestimate humanity." And in the deepest parts of space, where alien civilizations whispered about the new species making their mark on the galaxy, one phrase was repeated over and over: "Don't attack the humans. Even their smallest colonies will destroy you." The tiny mining colony on asteroid KX-47 had changed the course of human history. They'd proven that size didn't matter, that courage could overcome technology, and that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their weapons or ships. It was their refusal to give up. The 7-minute war was over. Humanity's place in the galaxy had just begun. The end.